What's up guys, today we'll be talking about the new Alienware m17. Not to be confused with the Alienware 17R5, which is the thicker and heavier version. The m17 is their thin and light 17-inch gaming laptop. It starts at just $1,450 on sale right now, or $1,500 retail price, and if you spec it out correctly, you can literally get one of the best deals right now by a long shot. $1,740 for an i5-8300H, 16 gigs of dual channel memory, a 1TB NVMe SSD with a 1TB hard drive, a GTX 1660 Ti with a 1440p 120Hz screen to really take advantage of that GPU and the 17-inch screen size. That's a seriously compelling deal. So how good is the laptop itself, right? Let's hop right in, starting with the build quality. The laptop is constructed with a mix of magnesium and steel, so the keyboard deck is rigid, but the screen does have a fair bit of play despite its thickness. The hinge is tuned pretty tight out of the box and it's located in the center, so don't go opening your screen from the edge or else it puts pressure on the hinge. The interior has the soft touch matte black finish, which is pretty comfortable and does a surprisingly good job at resisting oils and fingerprints, like a really good job. But I'm not a big fan of the gloss plastic on the top deck and the bezels. It just makes it look cheap, and it's especially annoying with bright reflections. As far as portability goes, it's actually pretty good. Like, you have to keep in mind that this is a 17-inch laptop, so gotta be a little bit reasonable here, but it's not a struggle to carry around like it is for their other laptops. Especially the Area 51M, that thing's like 50 pounds, right? The keyboard on the m17 is totally different than the 17R5, and I'm not a big fan of it. The keys are small, the travel is quite short, and it's not very tactile. It's just kind of mushy, and it's just a decent keyboard at best. Now, it doesn't hamper my ability to type, like I'm not making a bunch of typos, but I have seen much better keyboards before, so there is a lot of room for improvement. They're using a plastic trackpad, which I don't like because it gives way more resistance and friction compared to glass, which is smooth, but otherwise it checks all of your boxes. It's got Windows precision drivers, tactile clicks, it's not too loud. It could be a little bit bigger, but that's about it. I should probably mention that the plastic that Alienware used isn't as sticky as some cheaper gaming laptops, but it's still nowhere near as smooth as glass. The speakers are located on the bottom, and surprisingly, they sound really good. They're tuned out of the box with this crazy EQ that boosts the bass and makes it sound muffled, so just go ahead and open up Alienware Command Center, disable the EQ, and they should sound a lot more clear. Given the space that a 17-inch laptop has, I would have liked to have seen upward firing speakers, but honestly, I'd say these are still one of the best speakers on a gaming laptop, along with the Zephyrus. They're loud, they're clear, it's got good bass response. I give them a 8.5 out of 10. They offer a couple of different screen options with the m17, so the pre-configured options all come with a 1080p 60Hz screen, with options for a 1440p 120Hz and a 4K option. This is the 1080p 60Hz screen. It's got 320 nits of brightness, good viewing angles, it is an IPS screen. Color gamut and color accuracy aren't great, so definitely calibrate it if you're a content creator. The 1440p and 4K options are both a little bit brighter, and the 4K panel covers a wider 88% of Adobe RGB, so it might be worth it to just get the better screen outright if you're a content creator. The bezels are pretty thick, especially with all these gaming laptops having super thin bezels now, and the gloss black plastic doesn't exactly help. But on the bright side, it does have Windows Hello facial unlock, which the others lack. I recommend the 1440p 120Hz panel because at 17 inches, 1080p just makes text look jagged, and you also get the high refresh rate for the faster GPUs. It's a win-win. On the left side, you'll find an Ethernet port, USB-A, and a headphone jack. On the back is the charging port, HDMI mini display port, Thunderbolt 3, and this proprietary port for connecting to Alienware's graphics amplifier, and on the right are two more USB-A ports. I like the fact that the display outputs and charging ports are on the back. It's a small detail, but it's nice. Opening up the m17 is dead easy. There's a couple of standard Phillips screws, two of them are on the rear of the laptop, so make sure to get those as well, and the bottom panel just pops right off to reveal the i7-8750H, the RTX 2070 Max-Q, your 2 sticks of upgradable RAM, props to Alienware for using dual channel, ahem, your M.2 slot along with a secondary 2.5-inch drive slot which is populated with a 1TB hard drive, and up at the top is your Wi-Fi card, which you can also upgrade. I'm only getting about 525 megabits per second when I'm pulling gigabit on my MacBook Pro, but the range on this is exceptional. It keeps the 525 in my room where most other laptops usually drop down into the mid 300s. The SSD they're using is the Western Digital SN520. This unit comes with a 128GB drive, and the write speeds are kinda gimped at the smaller capacities. Performance with this is obviously really good. It smashes everything at 1080p Ultra, which is kind of a shame because this screen is only 60Hz. All the more reason to get the 1440p 120Hz screen. The thermals are hitting it really close for comfort. It's getting into the high 90s. It doesn't thermal throttle, but it does get very hot if you push it full tilt for an extended load. The MSI GS75 does it the best, in my opinion, so it's got 3 fans instead of 2, and they can spin up much faster, and obviously much louder. Like, this thing doesn't even get that loud. It's pretty reasonable at full tilt. Given how much space they have to work with, I'd say just put in a 3rd fan on the CPU, let them run faster, and let them run louder, and use better thermal pace. Because looking at the thermals on the GS75, that thing could probably overclock the i9-9980HK. There are a couple different fan profiles that you can enable inside of Alienware's Command Center software, so fan noise won't always be the same, but at full speed, they're loud, but they're not jet engine loud like the Zephyrus or GS75. There's a 60Wh battery inside that gets me a little under 3 hours of use. If you opt out of the 2.5-inch drive, you can fit in a 90Wh battery, which will give you 50% longer battery life. But you'll still need to bring the charger with you even with 5 hours of battery life, so it's probably worth it to just get the 2.5-inch drive slot. And the charger they include is a 240W unit. It's pretty big, and it ends in a barrel plug with a blue LED around it so you can find it in the dark. So overall thoughts on the Alienware M17. At first I was like, this is epic. And then I was like, those thermals are getting pretty tight. And then I was like, $2,400, I don't know, pal. And then I checked Dell's website and I found out that it starts at $1,750 for the RTX 2060 and $1,500 for the GTX 1660 Ti. In fact, all of them are on sale right now, and the 1660 Ti starts at $1,450. The unit that I recommend is the base model, so the 1660 Ti with the 1440p 120Hz screen, and then just throw in an SSD yourself. You can find a 1TB NVMe SSD from Crucial or Intel for like $90 on sale. That comes in at $1,700 or $1,650 on sale at the moment, plus $90 for the Intel 660p SSD, and that'll bring you to $1,740. And at that price, both the specs and the hardware is just too good to ignore. It's got dual channel memory, dead easy upgradability, it's built well, it's got good ports, excellent speakers, like, just go for it. So that's gonna wrap this video up. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.